All right. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, even if you're watching this show in the morning. How are we doing, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Robbie Basel Show. Today is November 13th, and today's video, I said last time that it was going to be the MLB free agency preview. That is going to be delayed, and for good reason, by the way. And if you were hoping for me to talk about the Jets today, not doing that. Make sure to check into the stands on Thursday. We're going to talk about all of that and more on Thursday. Hopefully, some MLB free agency talk, as well as some of the recap of the Giants and Jets on Thursday. Link to the last episode will be in the description. And today's video is the November international break preview, because international ball starts in the middle of this week. I believe it starts on, for most people, on Thursday. So let me just make sure, because we have a lot of continents to talk about. We have Africa, we have Asia, we have Concacaf in North America. So let's talk about the United States of America. We get to talk about South America, and of course, we get to talk about Europe. So all five of the main continents get to be talked about today in this video. Unfortunately, though, we are going to be starting with none of those teams or of those continents, and we are going to recap something that happened yesterday. So for those who don't know, I attend Iona. I think we've known that before. We're in my Iona dorm room. We've done, I think every episode other than one since the start of September in this room, whether it be financial there or right here. And recently, if you saw on Instagram, make sure to follow, by the way, at Basel_11. You've seen me doing sideline reporting, broadcasting, camera work, whatever. For the last, I'd say, month and a half for Iona University men's soccer. Their season came to an unfortunate end yesterday at a 2-1 loss to the Rider Bronx in the MAC men's soccer final. I was the sideline reporter for that. I had a lot of fun doing the game. The game was nuts, as expected for a final. Rider got a late goal to take a 2-1 lead in the 84th minute. Iona got a penalty, and our leading goal scorer, Camilo Ruiz, went to take it, and he went to his right. Goalkeeper went guessed the right way, made a great save that went over the net, over the bar, and the clock ran out of time, and that was that. But it was a very fun match. It sucked to see Iona go out like that, but it was a great season for Iona. It sucks to see that some of the big players, you talk about your Camilo Ruiz's, your Matias Morales, I believe Ali Kamara might be gone next season. Iona team, though, is very young. They have a good bunch of players, now experienced players, but I'm interested to see who comes back. The team, to me, and I'll put it like this: this is the equivalent of like the Real Madrid Galacticos, or that super team. Unfortunately, they did get dethroned by Rider, who are a great story as well. Last year, only won 3 games under a brand new head coach, and Coach Dernberger won the MAC in his first go. I mean, I compared it to the Vegas Golden Knights somewhat in a way. First time for everybody, for most of the players on this team they had some returners. You're talking about some of their leading players. I'm just gonna try to pull up one of them because I did get to interview one of them yesterday. I'm just trying to remember his name. I don't want to butcher it here on the live podcast. Babacar Diene, that's the name. But that game from yesterday, and the MAC puts it very well. It was an instant classic for the ages. It was a very fun match. Rider wins 2-1. Iona, who won their back regular season, won on Thursday against Manhattan in the biggest derby that no one really cared about. And Rider, for the first time in half a decade, will be going to the NCAA tournament. They find out their draw later today. But that Rider team, Babacar Diene, they had Diop, the other center forward. They had some good defenders. Their goalkeeper made a very clutch save on the first goal. To talk about the match a little bit more, Rider's first goal, top shelf banger for Diop. I think that's how you say it. And then Thiago Kanya, the junior midfielder, who has really emerged in the second half of the season, scored an absolute banger from 20 yards to equalize, and then, of course, the game winner by Babacar Diene. And then that match had it all. And I'm taking just watching the Instagram reel to get my highlights out. And Babacar Diene, double deflection in the back of the net. And that seal. He also did the Sui, which I thought was hilarious, because that's it's so you know you're a menace to society is when you go out and you do something like that. And then you, of course, did what would have been a storybook way to tie this matchup. But Ryder's great story continues. An incredible save. Keeper guesses the right way. Players celebrate. They don't know what to do. And the match ends. Ryder 2, Iona 1. Ryder going to the NCAA tournament. The scenes when I was on the pitch at the end were incredible. The Ryder, everyone's showing a lot of emotion at the end, from confusion to, I mean, I'm not seeing them when they put their name as the champions of the MAC. Coach Derenberg getting lifted by his players. It's a great scene. Getting the lifted trophy. Incredible. Simply incredible. And the final will go down as one of the best games in soccer in person that I've ever seen. I mean, there was some other ones that have been rivaled over the years, but that one will be probably one of my best ones I've ever watched. Iona Gales, men's soccer, incredible season. But unfortunately, for the second year in a row, come up one game short of the season they were looking for. And now to your regularly scheduled content, where we will not try to be sad and frustrate everyone. And today we are going to be kicking it off in alphabetical order, which, for those who don't know, we start in Asia. It's not Africa, ladies and gentlemen. We're going by federation names. And we're going to start in Asia. The last time we talked about Asia, we just had the draw for the second round. And the second round kicks off on Thursday. And we're going to go group by group, giving our official predictions after everything that's gone on recently. So, Group A, Qatar, India, Kuwait, Afghanistan. I talked about this group. Qatar really in a downward spiral. India, though, the country known for cricket, I think is going to give Qatar a real shot. Kuwait also had a decent last run in the World Cup qualification, but it's giving Qatar or India. I just don't know who out of this match day that I would think would be able to get out of this group. I mean, if you look at the schedule, and when I pull up the schedule on my FootMob app, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Just so I first remind, one of an earlier reminder than usual, because I mean, I know you guys want to see me do that commentary on whatever you want. I can do it on a movie. I can do it about a person, as long as I don't get demonetized. You guys can make the script for me, but I need 10 likes on this video. Make sure to go follow the Instagram. We're one short of 50 followers on the Instagram for this channel. Why don't you guys follow and subscribing? I mean, what harm can be done? I mean, it support me. I'll tell you that much. It always puts a smile on my face when someone does something. Even though if it's so small, it still feels really good. So we'll take a look at the matches now. We have opening the day. We have Afghanistan as they take on Qatar, and of course we have Kuwait, and then they play India. India's second match is on Tuesday, and they play Qatar. So, and then after that, India, a team that will be playing in the Asian Cup, I think can come out with 4 points out of this first two match days. They did recently in a friendly lose to Malaysia, so that's not very good. Losing 4-2 in Malaysia, I mean, that's not great. So it's going to be Qatar or India to come out of the group. I just don't know who's going to come out on top. Right? If I had to give a prediction for it, I would probably say the Qataris, but being the pot one team, being the more notable bunch, but I would not be surprised if India makes a big run for the money. Not the same with Kuwait. Group B, it's Japan's to lose. We have Syria, as well as North Korea and Myanmar. North Korea and Myanmar are not very good, if good at all. Japan and Syria. Syria was, I think, a game or two away from making it to the Asian playoff for the 2022 World Cup. Japan, of course, made it to the World Cup knockouts. I mean, they're a very good bunch. They beat Germany at the last World Cup. They did lose to Costa Rica, but they got results against a couple of good teams. Japan's going to get out of this group. It's just going to be coming down who comes in second. I think that team is going to be Syria. They're a very good bunch, underrated team. If they got any easier of a draw, I think they would have been easily winning this group. But I do believe, I just got to scroll through here real quick. The second round, the top 9 group winners and group runners-up advance to the third round and automatically qualify, of course, for the Asian Cup. So the goal here is just advance to the next round. And I think Japan and Syria will do that. And of course, I'm thinking Qatar, India easily so far. Not many hard groups. This group is interesting. I'm dubbing this the Southeast Asian group. You have South Korea, who's going to get through this easily. And then it's a battle for second. You have China, Thailand, and Singapore. Now, I like the Thais, the Thailand national team. They're a very good group of players. Can I pronounce any of them? Probably not. I mean, granted, if you guys have seen my recent videos, I've really butchered some of these names. And with the Taiwanese Thailand, I don't know. Taiwanese is Taiwan, but which is aka Chinese Taipei. But the Thailand national team, they have Terrasil Dung. I'm not pronouncing this. Screw this. They have some good experienced players. My question for the Thailand national team is going to be in goal for them. Their most experienced player only has 9 caps in goal. So I'm interested to see how that looked. Singapore, I believe, is in the Asian Cup this year. So we'll see them possibly later on. They also have a bunch of players I don't know how to say. If you can pronounce any of the Singaporean or Thailand national team players, let me know. They have multiple players, though, over 100 caps. Of course, they have their captain, Haris Harun, who plays for Lion City Sailors. I think that's in Indonesia. Oh, it's in Singapore. My God, I thought I were in Indonesia for a second, but no, it's in the Singaporean league. So Singapore is not a bad group. Thailand is not a bad group. Of course, China, they made it to the next stage of the World Cup qualifying. They did lose to Vietnam. So take it how you will. So I'm intrigued to see how that group looks, but I think it's going to be South Korea. I think it's going to be Thailand, and then China, and then Singapore. Those 3 are really going to be bunched together, and I think it's going to be so much fun to see how they play head-to-head. Group D, I think it's going to be a top 3 battle. We have Oman, who played some competitive matches in the previous World Cup qualifying. They beat Japan. In Japan, they got results against Australia. They played South Korea well. They also got in their group Kyrgyzstan, I'm always high on like these random teams. The White Wolves of Kyrgyzstan, I'm high on them. And of course, we have the aforementioned Malaysia, who another Southeast Asian team. And of course, Chinese Taipei. Now, Southeast Asia, just for those who don't know, Southeast Asia is usually known for being really bad. Malaysia, I don't know about them. So I know Oman's going to be through. I think that's the easy one. The toss-up here for me is Kyrgyzstan and Malaysia. I'm going to go with Kyrgyzstan. Being the higher seed, they've played they're a very interesting bunch of players. They are coming off an unfortunate loss to the Philippines, and they did lose to Bahrain. Bahrain's not a bad team either. They open with Malaysia, and then they play Oman in Kyrgyzstan. So they do open up with Malaysia away. So I think that's going to be a very crucial opening game. I think that's going to be a draw. I think it's very possible for Kyrgyzstan to be on 2 points, and Malaysia to possibly be on 4, but they're playing Chinese Taipei in their second match. Take it how you will. But of course, we have I'm just trying to figure out of course, after this, Kyrgyzstan, of course, a team in the Asian Cup. Unfortunately, they have a very tough draw. They have Oman as well, which will be fun. But they also have Saudi Arabia and Thailand. So it's one of the teams you have not been able to talk about yet, which is the Saudis. But I think it's going to be Kyrgyzstan and Oman. And then we'll get a little bit of a preview for what we can possibly see in the Asian Cup in a couple of months. Group E, I think is going to be top two easily. I think this one's the easiest one to predict so far. You have Iran, who made the World Cup, could have had a decent run in the World Cup. We have Uzbekistan, who almost made the final round of Asian World Cup qualification for the last World Cup. The Turkmens, who are okay. They did finish in second with a group in South Korea, but they did get killed by South Korea twice. And Hong Kong, who barely made it out of the first round. Hong Kong, of course, beating Bhutan, which for those who don't know, is a tiny micronation. So this is an easy one. Give me Iran and Uzbekistan. I'm just intrigued to see who finishes it first out of this group. I think it's going to be Iran and Uzbekistan, the Turkmens, and Hong Kong will advance to the Asian Cup qualifying third round. So good for them. Group F, I think, could be a sleeper. Iraq is going to win this group, I think. The pot one teams for most of the group should win it. But I think this is another Southeast Asian one with the Vietnamese, who are a rising bunch. I think Indonesia can cause some problems. Indonesia, I think possibly the Philippines can maybe cause some problems. I'm going to go with Vietnam, but I think the Indonesian national team is going to cause some problems for the Vietnamese. So give me Iraq, then Vietnam, then Indonesia, then the Philippines. Group G, we have the aforementioned Saudi Arabia national team, which shout out to them. They will get the 2034 World Cup bid. Probably not corrupt at all, but here we are. We also have Jordan, who are not a bad group. We have Tajikistan, which is one of my favorite teams to say. And, of course, Pakistan. Pakistan coming off a nice 1-0 win in their two-legged tie over Cambodia. So my worry for Pakistan is that they're not going to score it. So I'm going to take the Saudis. I'm a little bit hesitant on them, though, because last time they were in the round before the final round, they drew some interesting. I think they drew Lebanon. I'm just trying to hold on. I'm just going to go back real quick because I think they drew Lebanon in this round last time. Oh, it was Yemen. They drew Palestine and Yemen. So take it how you will. I'm going to take the Saudis, but it's not going to be that convincing. And then I'm going to go with the second's going to be interesting. I don't know about the Pakistani national team. I'm going to go with Jordan, not Tajikistan. I'm possibly high on Tajikistan. I think that'll cause some problems. Group H, I think, will be fun. The UAE, who made it to the Asian playoff and took Australia to their limits. Australian team that made the World Cup. You have Bahrain, Yemen, and Nepal. Yemen and Nepal, I don't know about them. I'm very hesitant on both of them. Nepal coming off a 2-1 win in the qualifying rounds against Laos, and Yemen beating Sri Lanka 4-1 in the battle. A team that's mostly known for cricket, losing 4-1 to Yemen. So I'm going to take the UAE and Bahrain, but this is a total wash group for sure. And finally, we have Group I, which is the group of, I have no idea how they're going to do any of this. We have Australia, Palestine, Lebanon, and Bangladesh. I don't know how they're going to do this, especially with the situation in Palestine. I don't know if they've said anything on this. We could take a look because I just want to make sure I have the most accurate information possible. And I'm just worried that they're not going to play the match. So if you look at the fixtures for Thursday and Friday, we have Australia, who play Bangladesh, which I think will be an interesting matchup. Bangladesh are not bad. They've looked much better in recent memory. And then you scroll down. I think we do have some postponed games. I don't think I can't find it. So all they do. So Palestine is playing game. Actually, no, this is March. Forgive me, I'm reading the wrong dates. This is October, November. So I don't see Palestine's playing Lebanon on Thursday. Okay. I'm not going to question it. I didn't think they would be playing games, and here we are. So, what do I think of this group? I think Palestine is not bad, and they're going to be playing, I think, possibly with a chip on their shoulder. So I think it's going to be Australia and Palestine. Lebanon is not going to be a pushover. Bangladesh, the Bengal Tigers, I don't think will be a pushover either, but I think it's going to be Australia and Palestine getting out of this group and causing a lot of chaos. I'm interested to see, because the third round, of course, we go to 3 groups of 6, because we have 9 groups in this round. So this stage, we have 2 matches to open this up, which is here in November. And then after this, they don't play again until March, so until around March Madness time. So when I do the March Madness video, then right after that, I'll literally be doing the World Cup qualifiers update for March. In alphabetical order next, we have Africa. And no, we are not talking about AFCON yet, because that's in this, I think that tournament starts in like December or January. You take a look at that one right now, because I'm just trying to remember when this thing starts. It starts in January, so we'll do that video. It should be out the day before the tournament starts, so I just have to remember to do that. So AFCON, can't wait for AFCON. I'm going to watch AFCON this year, of course, and preview the entire tournament then. But until then, we have World Cup qualifying to play, and we have our opening 2 match days here in November. But after this, these groups don't play until June of next year. So, and then after that, it's all in 2025. So this is the last chance this is the really one of 2 chances over the next year and a half to see these teams play. And let's take a look at the groups. So how it works is, if you win your group, you advance to the World Cup. Congratulations, you're going to the USA, Mexico, and Canada. If you finish in second, you're going to the possible playoffs. I think you have to finish in the top 4 of the second place teams. And the 4 best group runner-ups, correct. So there are, if I can do some math, I think there's 9 groups. 9 groups is supposed to be 9 groups of 6, but one country did withdraw. So it's 8 groups of 6 and then 1 group of 5. So it'll be interesting. I'm very excited to see how this plays out. So let's go group by group. Group A, we have Egypt, Burkina Faso, Guinea-Bissau, Sierra Leone, Ethiopia, and Djibouti. I think the bottom 3 are going to be a complete wash. This is Egypt's group to lose. Burkina Faso, I talked about them before. They're a very solid bunch. Guinea-Bissau, I think, are 1 step away from those 2 teams. So I think Egypt's going to go automatically to the World Cup. I'm going to say Burkina Faso currently in second. Egypt, of course, led by Mo Salah. I think he's going to absolutely dominate this group for sure. Group B, we have Senegal, and probably who are going to win this group for sure. We have DR Congo, and then we have Mauritania, Togo, Sudan, and South Sudan. I don't know why they put the Sudans together, but here we are. Togo, I think, are going to finish in third. This is Senegal and DR Congo's group to lose. Mauritania, it did make AFCON, but they're going to get annihilated in AFCON. So give me Senegal and then the DR Congo, who were a pot 1 team in World Cup qualifying last time this happened. This is a completely different format, so that's why they're doing it this way. Next up, we have Nigeria, South Africa, Benin, Zimbabwe, Rwanda, and Lesotho. Benin is a weird one, and I think Benin will cause South Africa problems, and possibly Nigeria, because the last time Nigeria played in a World Cup qualifying, they lost in Lagos to the Central African Republic. So, listen, I don't know what to expect from Nigeria. I know they got worse. South Africa is on a revival, I feel like. So, I want to pick Benin. I kind of do, but they're going to be a sleeper. Possibly Zimbabwe, but this is Nigeria and South Africa's lose. I'm going to pick Nigeria barely over South Africa. South Africa, I think, will be a playoff team, though. Most likely a playoff team. Group D, Cameroon, Cape Verde, Angola, Libya, Eswatini, and Mauritius. Cape Verde will be a playoff team. Cameroon or Cape Verde, whoever finishes second in this group, will be a playoff team. Do not sleep on the Cape Verdean national team. I think it's very possible for Cape Verde to get the automatic spot over Cameroon. Will it happen? Probably not. Do I want it to happen? Absolutely. I like underrated teams going into these big tournaments, these big moments. So that's what I like to see. Will it happen? Probably not. I'm going to say Cameroon and then Cape Verde, but I think Cape Verde will give Cameroon a lot of problems. Group E is our group of 5. We have Morocco, who are totally going through in this. We have Zambia, the Congo, Tanzania, and Niger. This is a group where I think is going to be an absolute wash. Morocco is the best team in this group. It's not even close. Tanzania didn't make the AFCON. I think the Congo may have as well. Let's check out the Congo. Because there's a lot. The Congo actually did not make it. They were in the group with the Gambia. So, yeah, I'm not high on the Congo. So I'm going to say this is a wash. Total wash. Give me Morocco, and then I'm going to say it's going to be between Zambia and Tanzania. Tanzania is going to play out a lot of draws. I'll tell you that right now. So give me Zambia just because I know they can score goals. So give me Zambia. I'm picking a lot of the pot 1 and pot 2 teams because most of these pot 3 teams and 4s are washes. So give me Morocco by far and large going into this tournament. But Zambia, it's going to be close. I don't think they're going to be in the playoff. Group F is going to be my first upset. We have the Ivory Coast, Gabon, Kenya, the Gambia, Burundi, and Seychelles. I've really hyped up the Gambia, and I'm going to really hype up the Gambia again. So give me Ivory Coast, probably, to go back to the World Cup, I think for the first time since 2014, when Drogba was there. Then give me the Gambia. I think Gabon's going to struggle. I don't know if Gambia makes the playoffs. But the Gambia are up there. They're better than Kenya. They're better than Burundi. They're totally better than the Seychelles. So Ivory Coast, I think, will lose to the Gambia and in the Gambia. And I think we'll beat the Gambia on the return leg. So I think the Gambia could be a playoff team. Listen, I think Gabon could possibly be a playoff team too. They're not a pushover, but it's going to be between Gambia and Gabon. I'm going to say right now, early predictions, I'm going to go with the Gambia. I'm really high on the Gambia, so I'm going to say them possibly a playoff team, though not so fast because there's a lot of good teams in this. Group G, Algeria, Guinea, Uganda, Mozambique, Botswana, and Somalia. This is going to be Algeria. I think Guinea is going to be a playoff team. I know I can say that for a lot of these teams. I think Guinea, with how bad the bottom of this group is, it's really going to come down to a lot for these playoff teams is how bad can you beat the teams in the bottom. So Uganda is not very good. Mozambique made AFCON barely. Got kind of lucky. So, because Benin choked it against Mozambique. So, Botswana and Somalia are washes. So, give me Algeria and Guinea, and I think Guinea will have one of the better chances to be a playoff team. Group H, Tunisia, Equatorial Guinea are somehow in a group together again with Namibia, Malawi, Liberia, and Sao Tome and Principe. Malawi is going to make this weird because I think Malawi can beat Tunisia. I'm going to say Equatorial Guinea wins this group right now. Equatorial Guinea has Tunisia's number. So give me Equatorial Guinea to make this really weird, and then give me Tunisia and then Malawi, and then the bottom 3, because Equatorial Guinea, if we look at their matches upcoming, they open with Namibia and then they play Liberia. So, listen, I think they should win both of them and go on 6 points. It's really going to be down to who's going to choke first. Is it going to be Tunisia or is it going to be Equatorial Guinea? And I'm really banking on Tunisia choking it. Whoever finishes the second is going to be a playoff team based on quality, but on points, no idea. But I'm really high on Equatorial Guinea. Group I is my other upset. We have Mali, Ghana, Madagascar, the Central African Republic, Comoros, and Chad. Madagascar did beat the DR Congo at home, so it's not easy to play in Madagascar. For those who don't know, of course, that's where the Madagascar movie was in. We have Ghana, who are on a downward slip. They did make the World Cup, but I'm going to say Mali doesn't choke it because Mali lost to Tunisia on an own goal. Mali has a lot of quality. Give me Mali. I want to really pick the Central African Republic. If the Central African Republic was in the group with like Zambia, then that would have been a lot of fun because I would have really hyped up the Central African Republic. But I think Ghana is going to struggle on the road again in like Madagascar and the Central African Republic again. I mean, they've both beaten quality teams, the two I just mentioned. So I'm going to say that Ghana, I think Ghana may miss the playoffs. But give me Mali to win and then Ghana and then the Central African Republic. The top three teams are extraordinarily bad. So give me that to happen. So all these matches are going to be starting later in this week on Thursday. So make sure to check them out, some of these matchups, because they're a lot of fun. Next up, we got the United States of America. Hell yeah, ladies and gentlemen. We have the Nations League. And it is time for the most important part about this whole thing, the 2023-24 Nations League playoffs. 4 matches are going to be played in the main part of the playoffs. I've hyped them up, and let's break them down more. So we have Costa Rica and Panama, Jamaica, Canada, USA, Trinidad, and Honduras against Mexico. Wow. Are there any of them that I think can be that the lower seed will win? I'm going to talk about this really brief because I don't think I need to go that deep into this. I think the only upset will be Panama over Costa Rica, but that matchup is going to be a snooze fest. The main thing for the United States is, will they score? How many goals are they going to score? Will they come out and play at a very high level as they should? But that's the one thing I'm worried about. I mean, they have some very good players on the roster. I mean, they call up the current squad. I mean, if you look at the current team, they have Matt Turner, Anthony Robinson, Dest with Miles Robinson. Cameron Carter-Vickers is a very good player. Weston McKennie. Pulisic is injured, which sucks, but we do have Florian and Balogun, who I miss from Arsenal. If he was on Arsenal right now, he would have been balling out, but take it how you will. We have Ricardo Pepi. Aronson is very good. His brother is solid. Gio Reyna, Eunice Musta, and Weston McKennie, I think, will be the main midfield 3. With Balogun, Aronson, and Pepe, I think that would be the main starters, but don't sleep on Paredes and Zendejas. I think they're all pretty solid players. I think the U.S. should get it done, but if they choke this again, like, especially in a matchup against Trinidad, I'm going to be possibly worried. But I think the U.S. should get it done and advance to the Copa America for next year. I cannot wait for that tournament. Canada should beat Jamaica. I think they're going to draw in Jamaica, and then Canada's going to win the return leg, especially with how cold it could be. We have, of course, Panama, Costa Rica. And then Honduras, I think it's going to cause some problems for the Mexican national team. I really do. So, listen, Honduras, I think, was really competitive in the Gold Cup. If you look at Honduras, what they were able to do recently in their current, what they've done recently, recently in the Gold Cup, they struggled. They did finish it out in the group stage, but listen, they were able to get out of the Nations League this go around. They're trying to get into the Copa America for the first time since their only appearance in 2001 when they finished in 3rd. So, I'm hopeful for them. I think they're going to lose, but I think it's going to be close. So give me Mexico, USA, Canada, and Panama. I'm going to keep my picks from the last time we did this and go with them to make it into Copa America 2024. Into our next part, which is Condom Bowl, which is South America. We have 2 matches in this qualifying window here in November, and then we don't see these guys play until next September. So enjoy it while it lasts, ladies and gentlemen. What matches am I watching out for in this window? We start off with Argentina, who are playing Uruguay in Argentina. We have Colombia playing Brazil. We have Venezuela and Ecuador, Chile, Paraguay, and Bolivia and Peru. Big match for Venezuela because Ecuador is in much better form. They've been unbeaten in their last 3. The Ecuadorian team, of course, who got deducted points for using an illegal player in the last qualifying window, even despite them making the World Cup. They are currently in 6th on 4 points, despite winning 2 games because they started out with negative points. You have of course, you have the Venezuelan team who is riding a very good start after losing their opener. They've been unbeaten in their last 3. So I'm expecting a draw of that game, but Venezuela, this is the question for Venezuela. They're off to a very hot start. They're looking like this year's Colombia. Like this go-around's Colombia, where they're just going to be good enough to start and then just be irrelevant for a while afterwards. So, I mean, not irrelevant. They're just going to draw a lot. They're not going to go get those big wins that they need. Can Venezuela spoil the narrative and go out and get a big win? In a match like this, Colombia-Brazil, I think Brazil playing without Neymar, I'm interested to see how they look there. Chile-Paraguay screams 1-1 draw, and Bolivia-Peru should be an interesting one. Sorry I'm going through this really fast. I'm just making sure I don't make this like the longest video ever. We have Paraguay, Colombia, Ecuador, Chile, Brazil, Argentina in November 21st, which is a week from tomorrow. Peru, Venezuela, Uruguay, and Bolivia. Of course, you can't go without watching Brazil, Argentina, 7:30 p.m. on Tuesday the 21st, which is actually the day I think I get back from college. We got Paraguay, Colombia. I think that'll be a weird, interesting match. Though I think a sleeper match, Peru, Venezuela. I like Bolivia. Listen, Bolivia have struggled. They've really struggled. Can this be the window to turn around for Bolivia? I think this could be the one. Possibly go out and upset Uruguay, maybe. Maybe go out and get a result against Peru, spoil the party a little bit. But the South American qualifying is a lot of fun. 2 matches here in this window. If you look at the standings, Argentina with 2 wins can probably get themselves into the World Cup already. Uruguay in 2nd, tied with Brazil and Venezuela. Colombia only 1 point behind. Ecuador only 2 points behind Colombia. I mean, 8th and 2nd is separated by 3 points. We're off to an incredible start. That will be so fun to watch. I can't wait to see how it plays out. Condom Bowl, South America. I cannot wait to see how it goes. Finally, we're going to talk about Europe, and we had actually a result from yesterday. We had Kosovo go and beat the Israelis 1-0, which really, I'll say this now, that really helps some teams. So that match essentially will send Switzerland into, and Romania. I think that did pretty much clinch Romania's spot. But let's go out and break down these groups once again, going in alphabetical order. So Group A, we're back with the boys from Spain. Spain and Scotland already qualified, for those who don't remember. Georgia already in the playoffs. Norway cannot qualify directly, but they're already out. So this group is done. Group A is done. Group B is not done yet. All to play for in Group B. We have Netherlands, Greece, Republic of Ireland, all in it for the 2nd spot in the group. Netherlands and Greece do play each other, I believe, in this group. And actually, no, they played in the last window. My apologies. We have Netherlands. They're playing Ireland. Netherlands needs a point, and then will need to beat Gibraltar in order to automatically qualify. Greece, though, would be in the playoffs. So Greece, off a very good qualifying window, and a very good performance in the Nations League, really helping their situation right now, because Greece right now sitting in 3rd, tied with Netherlands on 12 points. Netherlands, though, with 2 games left. Greece, unfortunately, with 1 game remaining. And if you take a look at who this match is against, they're playing France. So they're probably not going to be France. I think it could be a draw, though. It is in Athens. So I think that could be a little bit of a problem for the French. But, of course, give me the Netherlands to get out of this group. Greece, though, probably in the playoffs. Ireland, yeah, they can go enjoy their struggles from the Rugby World Cup knockouts here in this tournament as qualifying as well. Group C, all to play for. North Macedonia did get eliminated, which you hate to see it, but Italy and Ukraine have all to play for, and we will settle this probably on the last day. Italy opens with North Macedonia. if North Macedonia, goes out and beats Italy, the Ukrainian national team will need a point. They currently probably will need a point. They're going to only need 1 point. So it's basically a repeat of March 2022, when all that happened, when Italy lost to North Macedonia in the playoffs and everyone's complaining. I think we could possibly see a repeat here. So it would be a winner-take-all in Leverkusen if we don't get to that point. North Macedonia gets to play England after that. Of course, Malta ends their World Cup qualifying. Euros qualifying against England in match day 9. Group D, we have Turkey, who already clinched it, Wales, all to play for Wales, Croatia, and Armenia. Armenia, hold on, I'm just trying to get one thing. I'm just trying to make sure I got this right with Ireland. So of course we have Armenia. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. We have Armenia, who cannot be in the playoffs. Croatia and Wales all to play for. So Croatia opens it up away in Riga against Latvia. So I think that could possibly cause some problems. Armenia plays Wales in Yerevan. So I'm going to try to pronounce this for you, ladies and gentlemen. At the Vazgen Sargishian Republican Stadium. I think that's how you say it. I don't know. I probably butchered that for the Armenians. That's on the 18th. They're playing against Wales. And then Croatia plays Armenia. Wales, with the hardest schedule left, I think, they play Turkey. So Croatia gets to finish it off in Zagreb, Croatia. Wales get to play in Cardiff, though, against the Turks, who may not be playing their full starters. So I'm interested to see how they look with the Turks with nothing to play for. But, Turkey already in the tournament. Wales all to play for because, listen, Wales beat Croatia and somehow stayed in this tournament. We talked about it in September. I thought Wales was done. They said not so fast and are on a good winning streak. Winning their they've been in decent form. They beat Latvia. They've recently beat Croatia. They did lose but we saw them in June lose to Turkey. They lost to Armenia in Cardiff. But they beat Latvia in March. This has been a very weird run for Wales. They're on 3 wins. If you take a look at those wins, are Latvia, Croatia. I gotta find their other one, and Latvia again. So, can Wales go out and be a possible contender in Armenia? And they will hope for that the Latvians beat Croatia, which I don't think is gonna happen. I'm gonna say Croatia upsets the Welsh. Give me Croatia to make it out of this group. Still. After them, we get a group that is almost done. We'll have a winner-take-all between 3 teams, Czechia, Poland, and Moldova. We open it up with Poland and Czechia, the game of the day on November 17th in Warsaw, Poland. Moldova gets Albania, and a match that the Moldovans will need to win to stay alive. What Moldova is hoping for is a win and a draw from the other match. Moldova ends in Czechia, while the Albanians host the Faroe Islands, Poland, in a must-win situation in order to keep their hopes alive. If Poland draws, they're out. That is what is on the line for Poland on November 17th. Will we see the possible end for Robert Lewandowski on the Polish national team in only 4 days' time? That's very possible. And you'd hate to see it, but it's very, very, it's a big chance that that can happen. Albania, of course, playing the Faroe Islands in their final match day. Moldova all to play for playing Albania at home, and then going on the road to the Czechs. So I think Czechia has the goal difference right now. If they win, it's over. Essentially, Albania technically haven't clinched it yet. They do play the Faroe Islands, so they'll probably clinch it then. But Albania loses to the Faroe Islands, and they don't deserve to go to the tournament, essentially. But I think the Albanians are going to get it. They're going to get it. It's going to be Albania and Czechia. Next group, we have Belgium and Austria, who are already clinched. Sweden is eliminated, while while Azerbaijan and Estonia have to play in case they have a chance to go to the playoffs. Group G, we have Hungary, who are trying to clinch in this window. They need 1 point from their last matchup against either, if you look at Hungary's finals games, they play away to Bulgaria and at home against Montenegro. I think Hungary is going to make it. Serbia can clinch with a win on the last day. They're playing at home to Bulgaria. So Serbia come off a very clutch win against the Montenegro national team. Last time out, they played Bulgaria in Leskovac to finish. Hungary now having to play another match that actually matters, as they went out and drew in October to Lithuania. Take that in for a sec. And they're supposed to be contenders. Not looking good for the Hungarians, but listen, they have a 6-point gap with 2 games to play. I'm not that worried. Listen, if Montenegro loses to freaking Lithuania, then it's over. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think Montenegro is going to beat Lithuania, and then that could set up a winner-take-all with Hungary and Montenegro if Hungary doesn't beat last place Bulgaria. So, listen, all to play for in that group, but I think Hungary and Serbia essentially have it locked up. Montenegro, good effort, though, from the Montenegro national team once again. 3 groups left. We have Group H, which is the group of chaos. We have Finland, who cannot qualify directly. And then we have the situation with Kazakhstan, Denmark, and Slovenia. Kazakhstan, who plays San Marino first, what they are hoping for is that Denmark-Slovenia does not end in a draw. Because if that goes to 20 points, Kazakhstan will be on 18 points. So, I mean, you can hope for that. And then Kazakhstan plays Slovenia last. So, and then, of course, we have Finland play San Marino. Really what you're hoping for is Slovenia wins that match. If you are the Kazakhstan national team. Because if Slovenia wins in Copenhagen, Denmark goes to Belfast to play Northern Ireland. And if we've seen Northern Ireland in the past, they're not a pushover. Granted, their only 2 wins have been against San Marino. But listen, Northern Ireland have lost multiple 1-goal matchups. So, it's going to be interesting. I'm expecting Kazakhstan to not make it out directly. I want to see them do it. But, I mean, I don't know. So, I'm going to stay safe with Denmark, Slovenia, and Kazakhstan in third. But, listen, Finland, they gave it a good effort too, but they choked it in the end, losing to Slovenia and Kazakhstan. Our next group, we will have Romania, Switzerland, Israel, Kosovo, Belarus, and Andorra. Israel, who they're likely going to be playing in the playoffs. Romania and Switzerland basically clinched it after Israel semi-choked it. They went out and lost to Kosovo 1-0. They are in Hungary to play the Swiss next. A match that if Switzerland gets a point, it is very likely that Switzerland it's essentially clinched Switzerland and Romania's spot in the tournament with a draw. I mean, 4 points clear with 2 games remaining. And if you look at the schedules for both of them, Romania does play Switzerland, so it can get kind of weird. But Romania, what you're hoping for is a Swiss win, because Romania then plays Israel, and then Romania plays Switzerland. So Romania will not with the easiest schedule to finish, but I mean, Israel after this has to play a lot more matches. They have Andorra, who are not a pushover, and of course the match with Romania. So all to play for, I think, for Israel too. I mean, they're going to be having a whole country on their back essentially, but trying to back their nation in a time of need. But Kosovo, I think, are not out of it really either. I mean, they're kind of out of it. They're 5 points out with only 2 games left to play for them. So Switzerland, with a game at hand, I think can eliminate Kosovo with a point essentially in their next match. Finally, we have Group J. We have Portugal, who already qualified, Slovakia, Luxembourg, who have already clinched the playoff spot, Iceland, who are essentially out of it, Bosnia, who made it through, or are going to the playoffs, and Liechtenstein. So, Liechtenstein, sorry about you guys, you only scored 1 goal. Shout out to that player who scored the goal. I want to find who they played. Liechtenstein's only goal was against Bosnia, courtesy of Wolfinger, back in September. So, yikes. How does this end? We have Portugal play against Liechtenstein. We have Luxembourg against Bosnia. Luxembourg, basically in the same situation Kazakhstan's in. Slovakia, plays Iceland in Bratislava. I think that's where it's going to be all done. Slovakia, I'm expecting to beat Iceland and clinch their spot in the actual tournament. Luxembourg, sorry guys, you choked it and are going to the playoffs. It'll be a fun playoff though. The playoff draw, we will probably hopefully talk about the playoff draw. The playoff draw, I'm trying to figure out when this is. Playoffs. The draw will take place on November 23rd. So 10 days we will find out this playoff. You have 3 paths, so 12 teams in it. We already know that Path C will feature Georgia, so I don't know why that happened. The draw will be, of course, UEFA headquarters, Switzerland. Make sure to check that out. Make sure to check out all the matches. It's the final international break of the calendar year. I don't think you guys want to miss any of it. A lot of good stuff from the 5 big continents here in the world, all to play for. And on that note, that'll be the end of today's episode 51, International Break Preview, November edition. If you guys like what you see, hit the like button down below. Subscribe to the channel. 10 likes, and hopefully in the next episode, I'll open with a commentary in the suit you saw from the games I was doing for ESPN on a topic of your choosing. And make sure to follow the Instagram for this channel. I mean, we're almost at 50 followers. Shout out to you guys, all of them, all those who have followed that Instagram. The handle will be in the description. On that note, I'm Robbie Basel saying so long. I'll see you guys on Friday. Goodbye, everybody.